Nigga, we ain't gotta be nice. Nigga, we ain't gotta sell drugs. Nigga, we really rock right, nigga. Nigga, we truly godlike, nigga. Nigga, we been building space stations. Nigga, we are the United Nations. Nigga, the globe is too small, nigga. Niggas will always run y'all, nigga. Nigga, we are worth support, nigga. Nigga, we really are important, nigga. Peace, black people, we are important, we are worth supporting. This is the Elevation Sessions powered by my book, 200 Years from Niggas to God, the guide to becoming a mature nation. And today we're focusing on chapter 2, the cleanup years. This ain't soft and it ain't pretty, and it damn sure ain't for the fake. This chapter is for the ones who got tired of surviving and decided to do the same work. The wake up, the clean house, destroy of the old self, and rebuild something divine. So, like I'm saying, the book is once you wake up and once you get hip to the knowledge, you either gonna keep doing the same thing or you're gonna do the painful daily work to change everything. And that's what this is about, not pretending and not hoping. It's about writing down what must be done, visualizing it until it becomes reality, and taking action until change is permanent. And so when I thought about someone who lived that and who walks that, I thought about my sister, Evon. So Evon came from that fire. I'm talking about bold, loud, can't be ignored energy. But she took that fire and forged something sacred out of it. She retired from the county of Alameda, but she didn't retire from growth. She raised a daughter who was thriving, grown, focused, and powerful. And now she runs Agape's Restore and Renew Home, a space where people can rebuild, reprogram, and remember who they are. So she just didn't clean up the habits, she cleaned up her purpose. She rewrote her whole program and made herself the woman she needed to become. So this episode is for the ones who know we're meant for more, but haven't figured out how to break that cycle yet. Evon came on the show to show us how to do that today. So thank you, Evon, for coming on the show and welcome.
Thank you for having me, brother.
Yeah, right on. So, reprogramming isn't just not about inspiration. I got a quote in the book that says, reprogram is not about inspiration, it's about the relentless repetition. And so when you started transforming your life, what did relentless repetition look like for you?
How much time do we have?
30 minutes.
I only say that because it's not an easy question. It's not an easy answer, but it's infinitive to the repetition I did and still do to this day is I
Right.
take a pause, a beat, and when I'm faced with a challenge and I just meditate on God and I think about how would I normally react in my past, present, and God would say, "Is that what we doing today?" No, that's not what we doing today because I've grown from that. I've changed from, like you said, robust and loud, and my energy was, sometimes negative and all over the place. So I had to stop, take a beat, take a breath, and just think about how I want to be received in this moment as this grown woman that I have transitioned into. And
That's
I
right.
just think about um, changing my daily thought process and changing my response to people, whether good, bad, or negative, how they're coming at me. I want to make sure that I always respond in positivity because
That's
I
right.
didn't always do that. And so with the change, you got to remember to reflect positive energy at all times. And sometimes it ain't easy because somebody might be rubbing you the wrong way and you be like, Lord, just let me be that old person I used to be just one time. No, in the reflection of change, we're not going back, never. We forging
Right.
forward at all times. And so you have to think back into those moments where, okay, this is not a moment I could be who I used to be because I'm no longer that person. And I refuse
Right.
to let that old me burst to the scene. No, we're not doing that.
Right.
What we're doing is what we've been practicing, taking a breath, taking that moment, reflecting on where I've been and where I am and how God has taught me to be different and showing that I have something to give to this world and I don't have to be negative in what I am adding. I can be positive at all times and I can do these things with a smile and not worry about what the response is going to be. You may like it, you may not like it. because your energy
Right.
may not be where I am. And I'm not focused on matching your energy when it's negative no more. Time
Right.
out for that. I'm going to shift the program and change it back to where it's supposed to be if it goes left.
Right. So when that old you does try to show back up, like what helps you keep going and staying committed to your new program? How do you stay on your new path?
I denounce that energy.
Mm.
I'm not falling for that. No, I'm not doing that. I talk to myself. I keep reminding myself, I'm beyond that. I'm better
Right.
than that.
So, in chapter 2, I talk a lot about how, we need, daily things to do, writing things down, reading things, eating better. Is there a daily habit or a discipline that really changed the way you thought it moved or help you to get into your new program?
Yes. The first thing I do when I wake up is meditate and have time with God to center myself.
Mhm.
And then after that, I get myself cleaned up and all that good stuff. And I get dressed and I have a workout. After I do my physical workout, I get on the
Mhm.
computer and I'm building Agape Restoring New Home. It isn't in fruition as we speak, but it's coming into fruition. And so I have to keep my mind, body, and spirit intact. And I don't just spend time with God the first thing in the morning. I spend time with God throughout my day. I have alarms set on my phone every increments of 4 hours. And I stop whatever I'm doing and I take a breath and I meditate and I talk with God to make sure that I stay focused throughout this day. I may take a moment before the alarm goes off because I may feel some tension and I'm like, let me
Right.
recenter, let me recenter, let me recenter, let me refocus. Let me shake that energy off that's trying to change my perspective in this moment or change my attitude or my behavior. It's a learned process. It's nothing that happens overnight. It's a
Right.
daily regimen.
Right. And so, do you feel like those new daily habits of doing that? Do you really feel like they helping you with your new program, taking you into that new direction, helping you get out of that? Just as I quoted in the books, getting out of that nigga way and becoming more godly.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I really do think that it's changing me. Not only do other people who've been knowing me my whole life, like yourself mostly, they don't just see the change, but I recognize the change in me as well.
Right. Which is
Because
the
I
most
know who
important.
I used to be and I know who I am now and what I refuse to return back to. I'm moving forward and I can't look back no more. So I don't allow that energy to infiltrate me ever. So
Right.
I do see a change. I'm happy and I'm grateful for the change. It's making me a whole new person. And that's
Right.
the goal.
That's the goal. And to keep changing and keep becoming a better person on a daily
That's
basis.
right.
There's another quote in the book that I write that says, "If you're not yet the person you need to be, you must write yourself into existence." Who did you need to become, and what parts of your old self did you have to leave behind to forge this new path of Evon?
I had to tap into my spirit because that's where we all derive from, the spirit within, and that's where we get our good, clean, positive energy from. And I had to let go of the flesh. The flesh was
Mm.
rude, tough, and it was just running rapid. And I just thought I knew everything and could do everything, and you couldn't tell me nothing from an early age because my mother, had me exit the home at 12. And so I you couldn't tell me nothing. I was grown at 12 because I wasn't
Right,
living at home. I had a job. I was responsible. That's neither
right.
here nor there today.
No, right, no, right.
Today is a whole new day. And the way I was tearing through my late teens, my early to late teens and early 20s and 30s was like, I had to sit down and just really recognize where I came from and who I was. And was I happy with that person? Absolutely not.
Mm,
Was I comfortable in my skin during that time? Absolutely not. Did other people recognize or see that? No, because I was a
mm.
master at hiding my feelings and my emotions.
Yeah,
I
I would have never
mastered
knew
that
that.
over the years. Hmm?
I said, yeah, I would have never known that. We, from the time we hung out and all that type of stuff. It was just good times, fun.
Right, right. And I enjoyed
Mhm.
those good times. Beyond
Yeah.
the good times, the good and the bad I had to take with me. But was I comfortable in my skin all the time? Not at all. Not at all. So finding the spirit within and focusing and tapping into within by, I told you I meditate every day, several times a day. It's helping me
Hmm.
to balance, helping me to be calm, serene, tranquil in my thought process and in my movement and how I do things today. Back in the day, I might have been, in your eyes, you probably saw me as my sister, cool, calm, and collective. She had it going on. There were some moments in my life I didn't have those tools of feeling cool, calm, and collective. That was the outside projection. The inside was something different.
Mm. Well, I guess you're right by that. We all have a couple masks, we put one out there and then we always have one in. And that's what, that's what this, hopefully we can get to and we can get past. Hopefully with this book as a community, we can, come out of that niggardly way and really become gods and really, forge our whole community forward.
Absolutely. And I just want to say to your listeners that I am so proud and amazed at the work that you put into 2,000 years of niggas to God. That body of work is amazing. And I'm so, so proud of you because
Oh, right
even
on,
though we're
sis.
talking about me and my story, I know your story and I know where you came from.
Right.
I'm gonna let him share his story. That's not my story to tell. And when he's ready, I'm sure he will share it with y'all. This is an amazing body of work compared to where he started from and where he came from in life. And I just want to give you your flowers right now, brother. I am so very proud of you. And
Oh, right
you
on,
have
sis.
amazed me from the 360 that you have made in your life just by being the amazing man you are, probably the amazing husband, amazing father. You've come a long way and you had two good parents to role model from, and
That's right.
everybody didn't have that, right?
Nope.
So
That's
now
right.
that you are sharing your book with the world, I'm hoping that people who see this book will take it for what it's worth and weigh it against their life and where they've been and the struggles they've been through and use it as a tool to make change in the areas that they need to change in and to use it so well that you won't need it no more and you can share it and gift it to somebody else.
Now. That's the goal right
That's the
there.
goal.
Is that
That's
once we
the
walk
goal.
it so much that was another thing about the book too. A lot of people get on me about using the word nigga because they hate that word nigga.
I don't
But
like
I
it
just
either, but
tell
I get it.
it's just about hopefully that we can get to a point where our life doesn't even allow us to use that word anymore because
But
we don't even look like that. We don't even show up
oh,
like that anymore.
absolutely, absolutely. I had a problem with the word too. When I first read the book and I saw the cover, I'm like, brother, what are you? But when you read the book, you understand what he was saying in the title. Excuse me.
Right.
If you paid attention, he's
Right.
saying we were niggas because we were ignorant to
Correct.
how we should really be living our lives. But once you've gotten this tool under your belt, you are no longer ignorant. Now you can call yourself who you are supposed to be, a God, and
That's
rule
right.
your own life and live in life the way God intended for you to live, prosperous, abundant, in love, in peace, and in community.
Look at yourself right now. Who are you? More importantly, who do you want to be? Every day you make choices. Every day you move. But are you really living or just existing? You were never meant to be stuck. You were never meant to just survive. You were built to build, to lead, to master. Enough. The difference between staying the same and leveling up is one decision. One moment when you say, no more. I refuse to stay here. 200 years from niggas to gods. The transformation starts now.
in
That's
love
right.
and respect. You got to respect yourself and others in order for you to have love and have peace and community with people.
Yes, yes, ma'am. That's right. That's right. I'm glad because I'm glad you liked it. I'm glad you enjoyed the book. Hopefully, we can get some other people to get on board and love it as well and use it as a tool to forge their life forward.
Absolutely. I'm a
Mm.
help promoter. I'm a share with all that I know.
So I want to ask you, do you physically write out affirmations or goal or declarations? And if you are, what are some of the things you use to speak over yourself to keep you focused and grounded?
Honestly, I don't write any affirmations out myself, but I have an affirmation app on my
Hmm.
phone that I use as a tool to help to remind me of who I am, whom's I am, and how I'm walking today, and how that
Hmm.
I can be not just an uplifter to myself, but to others that I cross paths with. Because it's our job to uplift everybody. Anybody who crosses your path, you need to leave them better than with the way you found them.
That's right. That's right. I mean, again, it's this about uplifting and helping somebody else out.
That's
Doing
right.
your part.
That's right. That's what builds community.
Correct. And so that's comes leads me to the kind of the third part here is where I say we will not just speak change, we will become it. And so you didn't just talk about changing, you actually became something different. And so when did you feel that shift from talking about transformation to actually being transformed?
I'd have to say that I was embarking a conversation with my daughter a couple years ago, and she pointed out, you know what, Mom? In the middle of this conversation, by now we would have hung up from each other. We'd have had an argument or something. But I think there's growth in both of us. But I see a lot of growth in you, Mom, because you don't try to control the conversation no more. You don't try to tell me what to do
Mm.
as a child because I'm a grown woman. I see that you have patience now. I see that you are listening more. And I was like, did my
Whoa.
child just say that? Well, thank you, babe, for the compliment. I was excited because the transformation that I was going through, not only did others that I run into in the street here and there see it, my child saw it who needed to see it
Right.
the most because
Right.
in her eyes, she just described how I was
Right.
controlling. I needed to control the conversation. I needed to treat her like a child, even though she's a grown woman. I shouldn't have to do that because I've given her the tools already. I had to
Right.
learn to let go. And so when I realized that she saw the change, I was like, well, God, look at you. You was working on the sister. And I sure appreciate it. I'm
Right.
grateful. And God had to remind me, no, it's you doing the work.
Right.
The
It's
work
you.
don't be
You
done
putting in
unless
that work.
you do it. That's right.
Right. He just leading you.
And guiding. But
Yeah.
we got to do the work physically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally
Correct.
ourselves.
That's right. So how has your personal change poured into the lives of the women and or men you serve at Agape's Restore and Renew Home?
Well, as I share that, I'm building this nonprofit, so and I'm running into uh, uh, issues with having finances to build this home, but everything else is complete. I have my whole program and everything's built out. So I don't actually have people that I'm directly connected to within my business, but I
Hmm.
also volunteer at other people's nonprofits. And when I do that, most of them deal with the population that looking to work with, which is the unhoused. And
Hmm.
I take pride in having conversations with them and just being able to be a soundboard for them and just listen. And then when I find the opening, I share some wisdom and knowledge, and they walk away smiling. They walk away grateful. They're like, when we meet again, can we talk again? Anytime, anytime. Because
That's
it's
right.
important to make sure that you allow, especially this group and this population that is so much overlooked, that they are somebody. They are
Right.
appreciated, they are worthy, and they are needed amongst this world. And I want them to know and feel comfortable in their own skin and able to be able to have conversations with other people because we don't all think of them as dirt and trash. And the stereotypes that they are
Yep.
put upon them. I think of them as decent human beings who might have just ran across some bad luck or made
Yeah,
some
bad
bad
times.
decisions. We all done made bad decisions in our life, right?
Correct. Correct.
So we can't put nobody down for that, but it is our job as humans and as a community to help lift people up who have fallen too far beyond their own help and beyond the scope of maybe repairing themselves by themselves. They need assistance.
That's right.
And so I make sure that I am that bridge. I want to make sure that if I can't help you directly, that I can find you someplace that can help you within our community, that you can get the resources you need.
Right. Right. If not help direct you, at least point you in the right direction.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Exactly, my brother.
So, what would you say to somebody right now who's ready to clean up their life, but they really don't know where to start? How would you give them a jump start and a plan on how to get started in cleaning up their life?
First, I would ask them what their abilities are. What can you do? What are your skill sets so that I can help you write a resume? I can help you get to the point to where you can start looking for employment. And if you don't have shelter, if that's your first means of necessity, then I will make sure that I put you in the hands of the right people since agape is not in fruition yet, but I will put you in the hands of the right people who can get you shelter. And so you can get on your feet and get back to where you need to be or where you used to be and have fallen off, right? And
Right.
I'm gonna hopefully still be with you, like holding your hand. And if the shelter is only offering you shelter and no other assistance, I can mentor you. I can make sure that I'm helping you and guiding you along the way to the things that you need. But I first must understand your needs. Once I understand all of your needs, then I can set a plan in place and be able to help you expedite that plan and get you to where you need to be so that you are whole, healthy, self sufficient, and independent.
That's right. Okay. So, I mean, those are great things. I mean, those are all the things that we, again, we need to be. The main thing is independent, someone that can hear our problems, listen to us, help us, either help us directly or send us in a direction to get help. I mean, much other than that, again, the work is on you. And where do you
Right.
want to go?
Exactly.
Right on. So the last question, I mean, you got into it a little bit. I just really would like to ask you, just to formally put it out there, how did your brother do on the book? How did your brother do on the 200 years from niggas to gods, a guide to becoming a mature nation?
You want me to give it to you on a scale from 1 to 10, or you want to give it to you in layman's terms of how I feel, or what would
In
you like?
layman's terms of how you feel.
Knowing your story and, like I said, where you come from and where you are right now, and reading this body of work that you have placed into the universe right now, I feel like you've done a 360 and you have figured out what it means to step out of self and to uplift and help someone else. You went from selfish to selfless in the aspect of it ain't about me popping your collar and doing your thing daily. It's about what I can do to help someone else and uplift somebody else. And you captured that beautifully by writing it down and in an instructional guide form for others to now see that I can change. I can make a difference in my life and somebody else's by sharing this information. I think you created an amazing tool. I think that you are living and embodying the tool that you created. And I'm grateful and appreciative that you blessed me with an opportunity to read what you have shared with the universe. And I can't wait to share it with others.
That's right. Now, the other question I'd like to ask you is, and again, I'll do the editing. We talked about it already. Now,
Mhm.
when you did see the title 200 Years from Niggas to Gods, I am getting a little flack for the using the word nigga. But if you could talk on it a little bit, can you talk on the title of the book? And if someone isn't or doesn't want to pick up the book because of that title, can you help them get a little inspiration to maybe open up a page and read a little bit?
Absolutely. like I said, it kind of put me off a little bit. I was a little alarmed to see that at the front of the page, at the front of the book. But as I read the book, like I said, I understood the mindset behind why you use that terminology. Because people see the word nigga and they get offensive, especially if they don't use it no more. And it's great because I don't use it either. I'm talking about it because we're talking about your book, and that's part of the title of your book. But I understood the concept of your title when I read the book. And what people fail to realize is the word nigga, if you look it up, means ignorant,
Right.
right? When you're
Right.
ignorant of something, you have no knowledge or no understanding of something. And so, therefore, you are labeled because it's in our Webster dictionary as NIGGER, right? Or
Right.
NIGGA.
Right.
But the real
Same. Yeah.
understanding
Same.
the real understanding behind the word is that we're ignorant. You said
Correct.
that we need to come out of ignorance and become our true selves, which
Correct.
is God's. And if you read the book, you will get a greater understanding of self, first and foremost, and why the title was the way it was written. And the idea of you leaving that past and coming into your present and soaring into your future.
That's right. So what I tell people about the title, one thing that I say is that, from the title of the book and from the thing, I want you to know who the book is for. And that's why I use that word. I wanted you to know who it's for. I'm not labeling black people as niggas, but as a whole, we kind of act ignorantly. So
Yeah,
I wanted people to know that this book was written by a black man for black people to change out of that. But I also tell people it's written for any man, woman, and child to learn the
right,
lessons from. Do you
right.
feel that way as well?
Absolutely. Like I said, I got it. As soon as I saw the title, I didn't like it, but I didn't prejudge. I read
Mm-hmm.
the book and then I got a greater understanding of why you entitled the book 20 years from niggas to gods. I understood that. And a lot of people, their mentality may not be there yet to grasp that understanding. And unless you read the book, you really won't be able to grasp that understanding. You can't just judge a book by its cover, literally and
Correct.
figuratively.
Now, last question here is: do you think anybody besides a black person can use these principles and become out of that ignorant self and become a higher self?
Absolutely. The book is written and by it's unbiased. It's not specific to any racial group. It is for a people
Correct.
of this earth. It is written for any human being who wants to change and be better. First of all, you
There
have
you
to
go.
recognize that change is needed within yourself in order for you to reflect on some change. If you
Right.
don't
That
think that you
radical
need
ownership.
change, right. If you don't think that you need change, that's another symbol of why we use the words niggas to gods, because you're being ignorant to the fact that there may be some stuff going on that others see that you don't see within you.
That's right.
But then again, if you are already on this walk, you know that word ain't gonna bother you, because if you read the book, you'd be like, he's telling the truth because I'm on the walk. So I get
Right.
it and I understand the steps that we need to take to better ourselves, to enhance ourselves, to pick others up along the way and help them to better themselves and enhance themselves. And each one teach one is that same analogy. We can't
That's
just
right.
fix ourselves and not fix to help no one else to fix themselves, right? We got to bring
That's
people
right.
with us. Who say, everybody can't go where you're going. No, they can't go where we're going because they're not on the same page. But you can help them. You can give them a step up.
Right. You can still send them on a path.
There you go.
Well, Evon, man, you just gave us jewels, real ones at that. Your life proves that this chapter ain't just words on the page. It's real and it's lived. So, like I said in the book, reprogramming is not about inspiration. It's about relentless repetition. And if you are not yet the person you need to be, you must write yourself into existence. And we will not just speak change, we will become it. And Evon, you showed us what it looks like to live those words. And so if this episode moved you, and if you're ready to start your own cleanup years, go get the collector's edition of the 200 Years from Niggas to Gods, a guide to becoming a mature nation. With that collector's edition, you'll get the full ebook, the audiobook, exclusive soundtrack done by me, and this great artwork. So Evon, who thanked us for coming on the show today. And these are the elevation sessions. I'll see you next time. Peace, Black people. We are important. We are worth supporting.